Hello everyone, I'm Stephen West, this is Philosophize This. Ortega's going to have something to say to someone that calls themselves a pragmatist or an existentialist or anybody that subscribes to these ways of thinking and says they're doing so because, well, I'm just a more reasonable person than all those religious people or those philosophers of the past. You know, they're not just going to believe in a story that was given to them by their teachers or parents. They're not that lazy. They're the kind of person that does the work. They're willing to deal with the unanswerable problems of philosophy. Questions about truth, questions about good and evil, and they're willing to deal with the existential dread of not knowing the answers to these questions. Pragmatism is a way of thinking rooted in a humble mindset, they would say. People can learn a little something from me and this humility that's just constantly radiating out of me. But Ortega wouldn't let him get away with that. He'd say, just think of what you're really doing there. Throughout your formative years, you were educated. You were made aware of certain philosophical problems that remain unanswered so far. You were given by your teachers the conventional methods in science and philosophy that people have used to solve problems in the past. And then at that point, you more or less arbitrarily decided that the conventional methods taught to you were the only thing you were ever going to be willing to consider, and then deemed the unsolved philosophical problems as not really problems at all. I mean, we can't solve them with what people have used so far. Why agonize over them? In other words, to Ortega, all you've really done there is redefine what you consider a problem to be. You decided a real problem is just whatever's solvable by the conventional methods that already exist. Anything outside of that, not really a problem. And you call yourself a philosopher, he would ask. You really believe you're thinking about the world on some different level there? Part of the job description of a philosopher is to step outside the bounds of convention. If there are philosophical problems that seem unsolvable, why not have a different strategy, he would ask? Why not try to look at reality in a completely new way that may make those formerly impossible problems seem like they were just limitations built into a method that's long since been outdated? This is one of the many things that Ortega was trying to do in his work. See, he was responding to an early 19th century challenge that had been issued to the thinkers of his time. The challenge was to question everything that Western philosophers had thought they knew about philosophy up until that point. Because something wasn't working, folks. And to get to the bottom of exactly what that was, Ortega wasn't just going to sit around critiquing the work of others. He was actually going to try to create something new. He was going to lead by example.